All right, good morning. So we're going to be going to go to day 2 of the Gold Truck Rescue, and I just wanted to give you a little quick behind the scenes look at the preparation. So key thing is before I left last time, I created a little to-do list and parts list and tools list. So I probably don't have all of it, and I'm probably missing some things, but here's my general tune-up kit, spare spark plug wires, caps, general tools, general wiring, thermostat, spark plugs, fuel filters, hose clamps, random tools, fluids, coolant, some bolts. I need to stop at the hardware store and get some 5/16 bolts for the radiator, some heater hose, my boat tank, coolant hoses. Dan Boneyard, thank you again. Pickup truck parts master. Upper, water necks. Old oil filter I found. Radiator, tires, jack, tools. Let's hit the road. All right, welcome back to day 2, session number 2. So, I faced this day with, I don't know, I feel like, when you've been prepping and ready to climb a mountain, it's one thing to do the prep, but then you get to all right, I gotta go, and you're apprehensive, and that's kind of how I feel today. I'm excited because I love doing this stuff, but it's also there's a lot of work to do, and it's a little overwhelming can I solve all the problems? Do I have the right parts? All that kind of stuff, and I'm an hour and a half away from my shop. So, if you remember when we left off, we got the truck running. It was running kind of lopey. We'll figure that out. I did bring a Pertronics. Maybe we'll have to install that. Spark plug wires, spark plugs. Got the fuel system generally working. But what I'm going to focus on is the cooling system. So I have parts, got them cleaned up. I'm going to go ahead and install the water neck first, and then throw the radiator in. Hopefully, I'm the biggest thing I'm nervous about is do I have the correct radiator hoses. I have both styles of here, let me show you. So I actually have both styles of this is a Scout 2 style upper radiator hose. This is, and this truck behind me is a 74. 73 to 75 has this style, a Scout 2 kind of style one. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. 69 to 71, 72 has this style. This was all missing, and it has to do with smog pumps, AC, that kind of stuff. I don't know if the radiators are different. I did get I only brought one radiator, and it was a radiator I got from a friend, Zach. So I hope it's right. But anyway, focus on the cooling system. Let's get some coolant in it. Then we'll change the wheels and tires. I got to bleed the brakes. We got to fire it up. And then the goal today, go for a drive. I'm not going to try to drive it home yet because I want to get it registered. So hopefully I get the title today. But I want to get it driving. So that's my goal. Let's do it together. Yeah. So first things first, when you're doing, again, I didn't take this stuff off. It was all missing. So I put some, cloth in there to keep the debris out of the. And in these old rigs that have been sitting for a while, you want to always check inside there. Maybe there's a mouse nest or something. This looks actually pretty clean. And if you notice, I didn't notice this. The heater, oh dude, never mind. I thought this was hooked up to something. So I put this rig job on there. I'm gonna take this off. But I got everything clean, got the parts. Thermostat goes like this. Gasket, I'm gonna put some right stuff. I'm actually gonna just fit the radiator hose first. And then, yeah, so it'll go like that. Let me take this off though. And I don't know if I said this before, but I'm going to make the announcement now. As you know, maybe from Instagram, I am selling the green truck. I don't want to. I love that truck, but here's my reasoning. It's kind of like the truck is too nice. Sorry. The truck is too nice and too kind of rare in the patina to make it do what I want it to do, and that is I want to build a base camp rig. We recently went to Death Valley with some scout owners. It was a blast, man, super fun. But I took my Suburban, which is similar to like a Travel, obviously. But the Suburban as a gear hauler, so it was like my base camp rig, it was a little bit annoying because like to get gear out of the inside, you had to like completely empty it out. You know, the 4 doors is nice, and keeping stuff dust free and out of the weather is nice. But I wanted, like, I think I want an open pickup, so I'm gonna build this rig. I already got the parts coming to convert it to 4-wheel drive. And this truck is like a more base model, still has AC, which I like. But the paint, it's got a cheap repaint on it, you know, like, so I don't really, because if it's going to be a base camp truck that I'm going to take off-road, it's going to get scratched, it's going to get dented, and I don't want to ruin the green truck. So I figure let's give that to an owner that's going to kind of cherish it, use it, drive it, but not take it off-road and beat it up. So that's where I'm at. So that one's going to be going up for sale. If you're interested in owning a piece of international history, having a cool truck that is running amazing, super original, 93,000 miles, and you guys have seen it come together. It's been rescued. A chance to be a part of that story of keeping it, its life, making memories and all that kind of cool stuff. Let me know. Sorry, I should have brought my hose cutter. Anyway, this is going to be 4-wheel drive. I'm currently searching for an 8-lug Dana 44. I got the transfer case, shifter, all that stuff, and then I'm going to keep. So this will be a video project throughout the next probably 5 or 6 months. I do have a trip planned in June that I don't think it'll be ready, but that's the goal. So anyway, hey, I'm going to slap this on. I don't want to keep yapping along, but I'm going to get this fit, and then I'll start sealing this up. I'll bring you back in line for that. Okay, so I got the bypass hose fit. Now I'm going to, and this has a stud in it. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it has a stud because the housing cracked, which is a common thing, so I'm not going to mess with that. And there's only one way this gasket kind of goes, so you got to just pay attention to that. Here we go. So now that I got that settled, and people will disagree, I like to use, this product is really amazing stuff. It's called The Right Stuff. Funny story, Owen, my son, is like learning how to work on cars, and he has an exhaust leak, and he's like, Dad, can I use this to seal up my exhaust leak? I'm like, no, that's not the right stuff. And he's like, no, look, it is the right stuff. Haha. So anyway, I like to put a really thin, please don't go crazy, just a paper thin coating of this. Smooth it out. And then yes, I will like the sandwich technique. It's just that little bit of, and this is not something you're going to service all the time. Give her one last. Okay, thermostat. Make sure it's seated in that groove. And this is like a really nice dispenser. It's way easier than, but I've seen people huck like, you know, a 1/2 inch thick bead on here. And then it gets stuck in the, I've literally seen gobs of RTV stuck in the thermostat. And that is not good. So you just want really light, thin, like even, here, I'll show you. Like, look at this. See that right there? You don't need to work like that. By the way, I will likely change out this water pump because I don't like the one nut style water pumps. I have that at the shop. I don't have it here with me. And again, just take your time. As I've talked about before, like, don't be in a rush, because that's when you make mistakes. If you just take your time, work clean. Now, I'm going to do something. I'm going to slap this bypass hose on before I get it all cinched down. But I'm missing hose clamps. So let me go see if I have some more hose clamps. Okay, sorry I did that off camera, but I squeezed that hose on. I don't want this RTV to set up, so now I'm gonna, might regret that, but I can put a hose clamp on it later. And I bought some new bolts, but I'm not sure if they're long enough. I think so, but what I didn't buy is I forgot that we had this stud. But the good news is I found a nut, bro. It's exciting. Things are coming back together. Now, I should have painted this, but you know, like on a truck like this, I don't know how really into that I am. The old Sean would have loved it. The new Sean just wants to drive stuff, and definitely don't. I'm gonna kind of leave it there. Not gonna over tighten it. Actually, well, so there is this AC bracket right here that goes on the top of the AC compressor over to that. But I'm not gonna, there's no AC belt. I am gonna get the AC system working. We'll make a video on that. But I feel like that's good enough for now. Now you might have said like, hey Sean, why don't you pour water in the motor while it was there? I probably should have, but I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna hook up this heater hose now. So next up, I think the big move. I'll get hose clamps on this bypass. And the big move is gonna be the radiator. Getting that lower hose on, which is kind of a hassle. So I'm gonna kind of clean up that and prep that, and then I gotta figure out this thing here. Check this out. It has two coolers. Like there's one cooler, there's the second cooler, and you can see all these hoses running across the top here. I hooked this one up because it was splooging trans fluid out, but I can't find the second one, so I need to get a piece of cardboard so I can crawl on the ground. Anyway, I'm gonna do a few of those things, start getting the radiator put in, and we'll get back with it. So I went to put the radiator in, put my rig job trans cooler line, which I am going to leave this bypassed for now until I get into a shop environment, but I'm going to reroute this line to get it out of the way. So I'm going to work on that. Okay, so I wanted to give you a quick update. Got the radiator in, she's bolted in. I changed my mind on this lower trans cooler fitting. I thought I didn't have enough materials, but I did. And I think this is actually like kind of a factory configuration where the hard line comes in here, soft line goes out into the cooler, out of the cooler. And this line's cracked a little bit, but we'll live with that. Didn't have enough hardware, so just got some zip ties. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but everything, I'm stoked. Everything's kind of hooked up, and now I got to just do the radiator hoses, upper and lower. That's exciting. And just a quick note, if you have a fan shroud for a 72 1210, I desperately need one. Willing to pay. Post it up in the comments. Shoot me a DM and Instagram. Dudes, literally like one of the hardest jobs I've done in the last 2 months. The lower radiator hose on a 1210, pain in the butt. Scout 2 ones are kind of a pain. 1210's next level pain. And I can't remember, but I had 2 lower hoses. This one kind of looked right, but I couldn't get it to fit. And I checked on this this truck right here, which is a 70 or a 69. I think it's a 69. And it had the hose that was, I think, in the cab of this truck. So, man, finally got that done. That was gnarly. So now I think we're easy sailing to get the upper hose. The gloves, you know, they do help when you're out in the field. I don't have access to like a sink. I think I'm short one hose clamp as well. But I found, like many of you guys can definitely probably relate to this, that I'd be getting so frustrated trying to get this hose. My arm was getting wedged up against the fan and it would hurt like crazy. And I just had to like go take a quick 30-second walk, gain some fresh perspective on life and everything I'm doing, and then get back to it. Upper, no problem. That fits perfect. But yeah, just take a step away. Even with the lower, that transmission hard line, couldn't get it. Took a step back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I might have to rip to the store because I'm short a hose clamp. I should, man, I wish I had more spares of that kind of stuff. I have like this ring of hose clamps, but nothing large enough to accommodate the IH size upper hose. So I think I'm gonna jam. There's a parts store not too far away. I'm only gonna put water in it because I'm not sure if it's gonna leak. And then I did remember that the master cylinder is bad, but fortunately I brought a master cylinder. So I'm gonna just focus on the motor for now, come back, try to get it running again, get coolant in it, get up to operating temperature, see if we can get the motor running correctly. check trans fluid level, and then change the tires, because that's easy. That's an easy win, and you need those wins. And then work on brakes. Maybe we'll make it. I got a couple hours left before I gotta go. Here's a little BTS behind the scenes. Scout is an amazing hauler. Got my random junk. And check this out, guys. The best luck of my life. Check out what I found. I was peeping around. I was getting ready to go to the auto parts store. And I found the hose clamp I need. Yeah. Not the greatest condition, as you can see, but it'll work. And I put 2 gallons in. And so far, no leaks. That's just what I dribbled. But I'm gonna put this hose clamp on and let's fire this bad boy up. Good as new. And I gotta go get some more water, and then I still gotta do that. As you can see, this throttle linkage is way jacked. So I gotta figure out what to do about that, because I gotta reconfigure it for the Edelbrock. So I'll mess with that a little bit too. In here, it is stabilized. I'm going to hook up the battery, and we're gonna give her a go, man, before I attempt to do the tires and wheels and brakes. I don't think it'll start with the key. Give her a couple pumps. Should check that out. Okay, I don't know. Let's give her a shot, man. I always like to, I prefer to do this with another person, but I don't have that, so. And you know what I did not bring a jump pack or a battery charger or anything, so. It's kind of doing a weird thing where it feels like it's only getting energized from, when the key is, when the starter is engaged. So I'm gonna run a little, remember I said always keep a little jump wire. Now let's try it. Yep, so it's not getting power from the ignition. And again, I don't know why it's running rough. I haven't pulled any spark plugs or anything like that to know. So, but it's running. No major leaks. I'm gonna go look at the fuel filter. Fuel filter's full, gas looks decent. So far I think this is about the longest it's run. Let's check it out. Motor's kind of shaky, but it does seem better already. We're gonna watch that water to see if the thermostat opens. No visible leaks. I'm gonna check the transmission fluid real quick too. By the way, this microphone setup, I hope you can hear me, is pretty cool. showing over full. Fluid is kind of like tan color. Not bad, man. I'm pretty stoked. Yeah, the points are not working, or the key switch is not working. No gauges are working except for the alternator gauge. I'm try to give it a little bit of throttle. There's got to be something ignition. I might just do a quick spark plug change because it's got like a misfire. I don't know anything about this engine. The valve train is perfectly quiet. It sounds great. Idle air screws do nothing, which tells me the carburetor is kind of dirty. We'll know more as we get it warmed up. Thermostat is still not open, but the motor's still cool. I'm gonna let her keep running. I don't know if you want to stay with me here or, but anyway. It's not running bad, but it's not running good. I think I'm gonna likely let it warm up, go take a break, let it cool down, maybe do spark plugs. I'm tempted to put in a Pertronics, but I gotta see why the key is not working. So lots to figure out, lots to do. I'm gonna let it run for a little bit. I'll keep. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen, with a little bit of fidgeting. Starts with a key. The ignition is loose in the hole, which is annoying. And check this out. No oil pressure work. You know, the oil pressure is not working, but the temp is working. So the whole fuel selector system is gone. It does have, I don't know if you saw, like it has all these tanks in it. And they have this installed, so that's something I'm gonna go through with the complete fuel system. Oh yeah, look what I found from last time. My screwdrivers. Cool, just wanted to show you that little update. I'm stoked. I love things when they start with a key. Okay, a little bit of radio silence. I've kind of rigged up this linkage, but it is like working. It's not great. I'll fix it. I want to get an original Holley 4-barrel. I replaced the master cylinder. It was kind of comical trying to bench bleed that by myself with no bench. Just to use my hips against the tire. Made a mess on the ground. But I feel like maybe I have brakes. I am going to do the tires real quick. And then clean up my mess because I got to get rolling. But I feel poised for success. And unfortunately, the yard I'm working in, they've had to pull this truck in, so I can't really drive it. I'm gonna try to move it 10 feet. If I'm successful, we'll celebrate together. And I'll just release the video, and then the third video will be the drive home after I get it registered, etc. All right, woo. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me, but I want to show you something really weird. Look how much the engine is shaking, and listen, and watch this. When I push on the distributor cap, it smooths out. Really crazy. It's not in any individual. That's so weird. I'm gonna pop the cap and see what's up with that. It's really weird. I've never seen anything like that. Okay, you guys, so put in the comments. I'm gonna launch this video. Watch this. I'm pushing literally. That one does it a little bit. But watch the, look at the motor. Shaking like crazy. Literally push on this boot. Because it's totally smooth. I pulled it out, so I pulled that spark plug off and it runs like this. And I plugged, maybe it's a bad spark plug wire. Let me try to replace that one wire and see what happens. All right, we're gonna take a little break from the video. I just wanted to show you, we'll share with you and show you some of the vision for this Gold pickup truck. So I'm going to be doing a 4-wheel drive conversion on the Gold truck, which I'm super stoked about, using a Chevy 44 front, stock IH. I'll keep all the IH drivetrain. Dan hooked me up with a transfer case, setup and shifter and all that good stuff. But I wanted to show you, I'm at the IH Scouts Western Regionals in Calico, and I saw this 1210, and it's probably my favorite truck of the show. So I'm going to show it to you, and this is like the inspiration of the vibe, the stance, everything's perfect in my opinion on this truck. So I'll show it to you. So this truck belongs to a guy named Francis. He was nice enough to let me just come shoot it. But what I love about it is look at that stance. What does it remind you of? Yeah, it's got like a Baja stance. And check this out. Francis said he thinks it maybe was like a chase truck or something. And there's a couple cool little go fast features that are subtle on this truck. It's got a cable front truss, factory, although it looks like it's maybe modified. Bash guard for the tie rod. It's got some pretty slick dual shocks. So I want to pay attention to that because I'd like to replicate that dual shock mount. Oh, cool. 44 up front, 392. This one actually has a 5-speed. Check this out. This is another 72 AC truck, 5-speed, 4-wheel drive. I love this interior. This one's had a hard life. It's a little rusty. It's got the classic old vintage rough country racing high velocity shocks, Dana 60 rear. So this truck's really similar to mine. It's just gonna be sick, man. So anyway, I want to show that to you. This is the vision. I'm going to go a little more overland style with mine. It's gonna become my new base camp rig. But Francis, thanks for showing me the truck. Thanks for letting me walk around it. It's gonna be a fun project. Back to the episode. All right, got the wheels and tires changed. Threw the air cleaner on there, but I think I'm just debating right now. what my time schedule is like and if I have time to throw the Pertronics in it. Looks pretty cool. I need tail lights. I gotta redo it. I can't drive it home without this. So I didn't really pay attention to that. I think I need to call in the reinforcements for the third visit. Al, need your help, buddy. So we got lights to get working. I gotta bleed the brakes, which I kind of need 2 people for that. Put some more gas in it, and I'm gonna clean up real quick and then try to move it. Meet my goal for the day. Okay, so I got about 30 minutes left before I got a jam, and I think I'm just gonna slap this in. I'm not gonna go into detail on it because I'm going to do a separate video on the green truck of an install of this, so stay tuned. I'm gonna slam this in and we'll wrap up the video and hope that it runs better. All right, you guys, so thanks for watching. We're gonna come back, we're gonna do an episode number 2 on this truck where we get the tail lights, do the Pertronics, and our test drive, and we're driving it out of here. In the meantime, I'm gonna go get it registered, and it's all good. Thanks again. If you like what you see, leave a comment, tell me what I could do better. Give me your feedback. If you have any cool rescue projects, let me know, and like and subscribe. See you next time.